Born Dwight Grant in South Philadelphia, Beanie Sigel was no stranger to the hustle. Raised in a rough neighborhood, music became his outlet, his therapy. His gritty voice and unfiltered storytelling caught the attention of Roc-A-Fella Records in the late 90s. Jay-Z saw potential and signed him almost immediately. It didn't take long before Beanie's raw verses were shaking up the rap game. His debut album, The Truth, painted vivid pictures of street life. But it wasn't just the lyrics, it was the lifestyle he started to live. Designer jackets, diamond watches, and champagne in VIP lounges. Beanie Sigel was rising fast. Beanie Sigel quickly rose to prominence during Roc-A-Fella Records' golden era. As a vital member of the label, he stood shoulder to shoulder with rap giants like Jay-Z, Kanye West, and Freeway. Together, they weren't just making hits, they were building a dynasty. His sophomore album, The Reason, cemented his status. It resonated deeply with the streets and achieved commercial success, proving Beanie wasn't just a gritty lyricist, he was a star in his own right. By this point, Beanie had left behind the cold corners of South Philadelphia for a life of luxury and influence. He was frequently seen pulling up in fully customized Bentleys, draped in exclusive Roc-A-Fella leather jackets, and rocking diamond-studded jewelry worth tens of thousands of dollars. His lyrics became heavier, reflecting the reality of fame, pressure, and the darker temptations of success. His life was now filled with late-night parties, high-end shopping trips in Soho, and marathon studio sessions that stretched into the early morning. At the peak of his fame, Beanie Sigel's lifestyle was larger than life. He owned multiple properties, including a high-rise condo in downtown Philadelphia and a lavish mansion in New Jersey. The mansion wasn't just a home, it was a symbol of how far he had come. Close friends and family affectionately called it the mansion. It featured everything a rap mogul could want. A private recording studio, a fully stocked indoor bar, and walls adorned with urban-themed art reflecting Beanie's deep-rooted love for street culture and his Philly upbringing. Despite the chaos that sometimes surrounded him, Beanie Sigel remained a respected figure in hip-hop. His raw authenticity, sharp delivery, and fearless storytelling helped define an era. From the corner store to center stage, he lived the highs and lows of the rap game with unapologetic intensity, and his story remains a powerful chapter in hip-hop history. But with fame and fortune came chaos. Beanie Sigel's life off the mic began to mirror the raw turbulence he poured into his lyrics. As his career soared, so did the headlines, and not always for his music. Legal troubles started stacking up. There were assault charges, gun possession cases, and frequent run-ins with the law. Every court date brought media attention, splashing his name across newspapers and TV screens. Yet, despite the controversies, Beanie's loyal fan base stood firmly behind him, drawn to his authenticity and grit. Even as the legal heat intensified, Beanie refused to dial down his lifestyle. He stayed flashy and fearless. Paparazzi snapped him in head-to-toe Gucci tracksuits, arriving at exclusive parties in Atlantic City's top hotels, surrounded by celebrities and street legends alike. His collection of high-end watches was legendary: Rolex, Audemars Piguet, and other rare timepieces most only dream of owning. But none of his possessions symbolized his status quite like the custom, diamond-encrusted Roc-A-Fella chain, reportedly weighing over 2 pounds and glistening with unapologetic swagger. Still, the price of living fast and fighting legal battles started to catch up. Court fees, mounting bail costs, and high-powered legal teams slowly drained his resources. One by one, some of his prized properties were sold. He downsized parts of his empire, letting go of investments and trimming back the flash. But Beanie never abandoned his signature style. Even during the roughest stretches, he stayed true to himself, raw, unfiltered, and unmistakably Beanie. In the face of setbacks, he carried himself with the same energy that made him a star, bold, street-savvy, and real. The world saw the highs and the lows, but through it all, Beanie Sigel remained a figure who embodied both the dream and the cost of living it. His story wasn't just about success, it was about survival, resilience, and never losing your voice in the storm. After serving time in federal prison, Beanie Sigel emerged a changed man. The weight of his past hadn't broken him, it had refined him. He was leaner, more introspective, and noticeably quieter in public. But behind the calm demeanor, his voice remained sharp, his delivery fierce. His comeback wasn't just about dropping bars, it was about redemption, legacy, and rebuilding from the ground up. Rather than chasing arenas, Beanie started performing in intimate venues where his core fans could connect with him on a personal level. He wasn't trying to recreate his past success, he was focused on redefining it. He poured his energy into mentoring the next generation of Philly talent, determined to help young artists avoid the pitfalls he once faced. He also made business moves outside the booth, investing in boutique clothing ventures and supporting independent streetwear brands that aligned with his roots. Style had always been part of Beanie's identity, and that didn't change. His look evolved into something more mature. Tailored coats in neutral tones, luxury leather boots, and always a sleek designer watch strapped to his wrist. The over-the-top flash of his early Roc-A-Fella days may have dimmed, but the presence, still undeniable. He made thoughtful appearances on podcasts, radio shows, and hip-hop documentaries, sharing his story with the raw honesty of someone who had lived every bar he ever rapped. Gone were the sprawling estates and high-rise condos. In their place stood a modern, tastefully decorated townhouse, a space that reflected both style and soul. Inside were curated touches, shelves lined with vinyl records, hand-painted portraits of hip-hop legends, and minimalist custom furniture. It wasn't just a home, it was a sanctuary, a reflection of the man he had become. This new chapter wasn't about proving anything to the industry. Beanie wasn't chasing fame or fortune. He wore his luxury with purpose now, not as a symbol of excess, but as a statement of survival. Beanie Sigel had seen the mountaintop and the valley, and through it all, he never stopped evolving. Today, Beanie Sigel stands as one of hip-hop's most authentic and enduring voices. His influence isn't measured solely by platinum plaques or chart positions. It lives in his resilience, his unwavering style, and the fearless way he navigated both success and hardship. From underground icon to a symbol of street luxury, Beanie didn't just rap about the life. He lived every verse, every bar, every hard-earned moment. He may not post photos on yachts or flash private jets on social media, but his taste remains distinctly premium. These days, Beanie leans into the quieter side of wealth. Custom-rolled cigars, small-batch whiskey collections, and bespoke shoes crafted by underground designers. For him, luxury is no longer about spectacle. It's about detail, craftsmanship, and meaning. The flash is still there, but now it comes with purpose. More importantly, Beanie has embraced his role as a mentor and motivator. He frequently speaks at youth programs and community events, especially in Philadelphia, encouraging the next generation to think bigger, move smarter, and stay grounded. His message is clear. Success isn't about the chains. It's about being free enough to wear them without fear. Freedom, not fame, is the real flex. Beanie's life is more than a rap career. It's a street anthem in human form. Born in struggle, sharpened by the hustle and refined by pain, his story resonates far beyond the music. He's the embodiment of growth through adversity, proof that scars can become strength. Even after the glitz fades, Beanie remains rooted in something deeper, principle, pride, and survival. In a world that often rewards the superficial, Beanie Sigel's legacy cuts through with substance. He isn't just a rapper from Roc-A-Fella's glory days, he's a living reminder that authenticity never goes out of style. With a fighter's heart and a connoisseur's eye, Beanie continues to represent what it means to rise, fall, and rise again, stronger, sharper, and more unapologetically real than ever. In a world of fake flash and borrowed personas, Beanie Sigel stood out by being real. He lived what he rapped, dressed like a boss, and fought like a king. The Broad Street Bully wasn't just a nickname, it was a declaration. His life was messy, glorious, painful, and powerful. But through it all, one thing remained: Beanie Sigel never broke. And in the culture of hip-hop, where authenticity is currency, that's worth more than gold. In a world of fake flash and borrowed personas, Beanie Sigel stood out by being real. He lived what he rapped, dressed like a boss and fought like a king. The Broad Street Bully wasn't just a nickname, it was a declaration. His life was messy, glorious, painful and powerful. But through it all, one thing remained: Beanie Sigel never broke. And in the culture of hip-hop, where authenticity is currency, that's worth more than gold.